we'll keep it while we're talking about settlements and law and legal and stuff like that. We'll keep it on that lane. I was taking a flight not too long ago, and they, I'm not gonna name the airline, but they gave my seat away. I got to my seat.
What?
So let me explain. I got to my seat with my app, 28B, whatever. There was a dude in my seat with a ticket that had my seat number written in Sharpie.
Oh,
So I first got mad at him.
yeah.
And I was like, bro, what you doing? I got the app, you got a Sharpie. But then he told me, he was like, no, they told me it was a standby ticket. I'm so sorry. He was like, I would never.
So, mistake.
Mistake.
Okay.
So they pulled me to the back of the plane. They were like, yo, we're going to get you seated somewhere else. We're going to move you around because your ticket was given away on standby, whatever. While I'm in the back of the plane, I'm talking with, the flight attendant. And I thought she was flirting, so I'm sending it back.
Oh, my
I'm
Lord.
Like, she's like, yeah, so where are you traveling? Oh, okay, like, I live in Atlanta, too. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, like, And one of the things she mentioned was that they don't get paid while they're doing that. Like, while they're, like, helping us get our luggage in, while they're shooting the shit, while because I made a joke. I was like, oh, at least you're getting paid while we're chatting. She was like, actually.
They only get paid until they get in the sky.
They get paid once the doors close.
Okay.
So that happened to me maybe like a month or two ago. Fast forward last week, there was a huge protest in Austin where flight attendants actually protested at Austin Bergstrom Airport for this very thing. They don't want that pay structure anymore. They want to be paid for their entire list of services. That's, the boarding, the deplaning, all of that. And there was a huge protest about it. It was all over the news. So I wanted to bring it to the podcast to see, are we with them? Do we think that, no, they make enough? Do we think they, how do we feel about flight attendants protesting for, a better pay structure?
I feel like I'm somewhere in between ignorant and non-ignorant because I feel like nobody gets paid enough. But then I also feel like we live in a world, now I say that every fucking week, but everybody wants to be paid for the teensiest, bitsiest things. And that, to what I'm hearing, is you want me to pay you for customer service, which is supposed to be a criteria of your job. But granted, it is work.
Okay.
But in my head, what I'm hearing is you want me to pay you for customer service. Okay. You don't have to smile at me. I can put my own bag up there. Just get to the back of the plane. And when this bitch fly, make sure you roll my drink down here, my snacks, and my free blanket.
Okay. Well, they're definitely getting paid for the snacks and the blanket right now. My question, or my thing that I thought about when I thought about this, who's going to incur this cost? Because I know the airlines are ran by very greedy people.
Yes, they are.
Or most companies, period. We won't just make it airlines. But so who's going to incur this cost? If we increase the pay of flight attendants, let's say it happens.
Where the money come from?
Who does this get passed on to passengers?
Yeah.
Does this get passed on to the price of that airplane seat? I want to know all of that because I advocate for protests. Fuck the system up. That's my whole life. I live in. I love disturbance.
Yeah.
Because people don't fix something until they're uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And so these flight attendants are not outside Austin Bergstrom for no reason. There's something very real happening here. And when I saw it on the news, I thought it back to the conversation I had with this lady where she was like, yeah, I don't get paid for this time where I'm helping you get to your seat that was given away.
Yeah.
We had to go find my luggage because I had put my luggage in the seat that I was supposed to have. So she had to go help me find it. She had to get me to a new seat.
And she gets paid for none of that.
She gets paid for none of that. In advance, months in advance, I booked the seat. I paid for the luggage. I don't play about that. So he was definitely, or the airline screwed me because they wrote my seat on his ticket.
So, all I hear is my husband in my head right now saying, we don't have them kind of problems in first class.
So,
we don't have them kind of problems on private jets.
So I never did a private, but I did first class before. And I'm going to keep it a buck. And this might be my pocket talking. Overrated. Because here's the thing. Y'all, I can see y'all. I can see everybody in first class. Y'all right there. Y'all might get slightly better food than me, but we going to get there at the same time. Like, I think a private is worth it, but I think first class is overrated. And it be expensive. First class almost be the price of some privates. Like, but I mean, if I can get an emergency row, I'm typically good. I just need a little leg.
You're a big guy. They shouldn't have you squished in no
I've
seat in the
squished
first
for
place.
flights. There have been some places and some times where I'm trying to go and I got to squish. But most of the time, if I can get an emergency row, I just spread out and I'm good.
So did they move you or did they just?
They moved me to the emergency row.
Okay.
She was like,
so,
hey, are you okay with
no
sitting in
big
an
deal.
emergency row seat? I was like, I actually wanted that, but it looked like it was sold out. She's like, we have one open. You can come sit in the emergency row. And
So I wonder, why did they stand by and give him your seat instead of just putting him in a free seat in the first place? Make it make sense. Who was the lady at the desk?
So I think what happened was I like to get on the plane last.
Oh.
And I think what happened, I always board last. When they be like, class number 4 board, I'll be like,
you be one of them people.
Look, I'm eating chicken nuggets and I'm watching TV.
Oh,
I don't want to get on that plane because like you said, I'm big. And
You are big.
I hate when I sit in that seat and now I'm like this into it. So yeah, so I think what happened was since I waited too long to board, they gave it away. But it was soft. But
See? And I have anxiety. I am terrified of flights, and I know people are always shocked. Oh, you fly all the time. You guys fly so far.
I love flying.
I need to be one of the first people. I need to sit down. I need to see who's sitting next to me. I need to see how much you're moving because I'm going to tell her you got to move.
Okay.
And I need to take my medicine and put my headphones in and meditate and pray that we don't die when we go up.
I take my medicine before I get to the airport.
I got the kind you can take on the plane.
Smelling like Jamaica, man.
Oh my gosh, Lord! I take the
legal.
We'll
keep y'all updated. We'll keep y'all updated. That protest and that situation is ongoing.
Yeah, that's interesting.